Hey you, thanks for stopping by my channel and hanging out with me today. So today we're doing another gouache painting of me painting in my Inktober drawings. This one here, the prompt is drip, and it has this little penguin guy, which I guess is an OC. When does something become an OC? He's got a color scheme and a name, so I'm thinking that might be an original character. I've done 2 or 3 paintings with this little guy in it. His name's Muffin. He's always cobalt blue and has an orange scarf, and so that is something to note. Alright, so the main thing I want to talk about in this painting is something that I've been thinking about. I've been thinking a lot about how I use my color, and that I need to improve it. So I had a kind of cutting comment a while back, and it was that my artwork looks like a coloring book, and it stung a little bit because I know that the person wasn't trying to be nice, I don't think. But it was so true. It's so, like, the thing that I had gone to the forum with was that I was struggling with my color, and the person left the comment would agree that I was. So coloring books inherently are professional things that they send on to non-professionals. Yes, I've seen those amazing artists who color in coloring books on YouTube. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about like 99.5% of coloring book users are children, and their color selections are growing and their color application skills are growing. And I think that is to some degree where that person was coming with their comment of it looks like a coloring book. And I was like, I kind of agree with you. And so I had to stop and really think about my coloring and my application process. And I do recognize that I am learning gouache. I've maybe been doing it for a year. Maybe I took a break this summer and I did a whole bunch of watercolor paintings. So that's why I'm saving maybe a year. And there's a lot to learn about it. You can do a deep dive with any media, and I haven't gotten to the deep dive portion with it. But I think that I've done it enough that my application isn't terrible, that it meets up with my line work. It's the color choices where I'm really falling short. So I went and I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, because that's where I can get input and learn from currently. And one of the suggestions that I really took to heart was pre-selecting your colors. I think I've maybe done that once in the past 10 years. I really inherently normally just paint things the colors that they are, and I haven't done that with this painting. I think you might have seen my phone at one point in the left-hand side where there were color swatches, and I went through and I picked out a color palette that had a cobalt blue and an orange in it, because those are the colors that I have picked for that little penguin to be. And then I found a color palette that worked with that and used that as the inspiration for the color choices in this painting, and tried to make those the colors that I used with this painting. I don't know, it might be redundant, but it's okay. So if I were painting things the colors that they were supposed to be, that yellow piping wouldn't be a thing. Pipes are inherently white if they're PVC. If they're super old, you might get some cast iron, which is sort of like a brownish black, a browned black. And in this painting with that super dark background, I think that it could have been a really sort of ominous look. And that's not at all what I was going for with this painting. I don't want my penguin to be someplace dark and scary, and I think that the colors that I picked with this palette help it to be like, okay, yeah, it might be a place that it's not used, but I'd totally be okay going into that space and fixing and doing maintenance on that plumbing. I mean, come on, it's so bright and cheery, and I think it really adds to the vibe that I want my character to be in. And by not painting things just the color that they're supposed to be, one, you can get really beautiful, harmonious color palettes. Two, you can really create a mood, which three, helps to tell this story. And I haven't always been good with getting those things. And so even though the internet troll who's like, you color like it's like a coloring book, I'm actually kind of thankful for them, because that was sort of like the last little push for me to self-assess, to be like, yeah, I need to work on this. And I guess I'm sharing that person said that less than like sweet comment about my work, because I want you to know it's also okay to have people say things in less than the sweetest ways, and that sometimes you can really find things to improve upon yourself, even if you don't like how it's stated or what they're saying. That it's an opportunity for growth and how you respond to how the people treat you. And yeah, so I took that comment and I got this really super lovely painting out of it. I've done other couple of paintings that I've done recently where I've picked out color palettes and that I tried to keep with them, and I think that it's something that I'm going to try to work into my working process down the line. So another thing that I do in this painting, which I haven't gotten to, is I veer away from that color palette. I just didn't pick one with enough colors, I think, for what I needed. And that's okay, because in all YouTube watching videos, I watched this man talk about how to make colors that are harmonious with what you have in a painting. And what he was telling was that you take colors that you have already used in your color palette and you either mix them or you add them into the new color. So like if I was going to pick another red, I would take some of these orange or blue or whatever's and I'd add some of it so that new color wouldn't have the clarity of that color, that it would be muddied down just a little bit by the colors that are already on the palette. And that is how you make a color that feels like it's still within the world of the colors. So instead of picking like a black and just adding gray to it to create a completely neutral color, I took and I mixed the colors I had into my mixture so that it still felt like it belonged in this current little world. And I changed the color of the blue, even though it was a very fetching blue, so that penguin wouldn't melt into the background, because I really feel like he is an inherent part of this painting. I took and did the same trick again for this purpley neutral. It feels kind of neutral even though it's purple. And I added the colors from my palette to create something that felt like it was in the world. And I think it really works, and I'm really proud of myself. And I would love to go and show that person who was like, it looks like a coloring book, be like, yeah, but it's an elevated coloring book now. And I hope that in in your week that it's a good one and you have the best week ever. And if you're in the States, have a happy Thanksgiving, because this will post on Thanksgiving in the States. And I really appreciate you. My sign that says like, subscribe, and all of those things is going to flash up. Leave a comment. Let the YouTube algorithm know that you like my stuff. Till next time, have the best week ever. Bye.